Hello everyone. Today's the day. We will start the first tournament ever for the battle for peanut butter and jelly. PBJenesis. Welcome. My name is Kahmann from Kahmann Gaming, Games for Good. It is my mission to share my love of video games and to show everyone games can be for good. For those who don't know, I've been in the development of the battle for peanut butter and jelly for quite some time now. I've been working on it while going to college full-time, and I'm still working on it now, even after graduation with a full-time job. During my last semester at college, I decided to hold a tournament, PBJenesis, with several of my classmates and friends, to share the game with them and to record those matches so I could share them with you. This tournament will be double elimination, meaning if a competitor loses, they still have a chance to win the tournament. Each set will be best 2 out of 3 matches, and the winner will be awarded their very own jar of peanut butter and jar of jelly. I know, it's a great award. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I'll be sharing a video, and in each video, it will show one of these sets of 2 competitors duking it out for that jar of peanut butter and that jar of jelly, and, of course, for the glory that comes with it. Our first competitor today is TanookiToad. He prefers jelly over peanut butter, especially when it's on a hot dinner roll. His favorite game is Super Mario World, and his dream vacation is to someday go to the Marshall Islands. Our next competitor against TanookiToad is JB. He may not be Spider-Man, but he is quite the Pokemon master, which could prove useful in this strategy game. He also prefers jelly over peanut butter, and his favorite video game is Halo 2. As for his dream vacation, of course, it's Japan. And before we start, guys, I would like to remind you, if you haven't already, go onto Facebook and like Kahmann Gaming. Also, make sure to download the Battle for Peanut Butter and Jelly. It's free. Only available on Windows for now, but soon it will be available for Macs. Stay in tune. Now that the competitors have been set, only one question remains. Who will win? On the left, playing as Team Peanut Butter, we have the tenacious and terrific TanookiToad. And on the right, playing as Team Jelly, we have the jaunty and jazzy JB. Now during this time, it's going to take a while for the competitors to get ready. And since most of you are probably new to this game, I would like to explain the very basics of the game. So, the Battle for Peanut Butter and Jelly is a real-time strategy game where 2 players try to build up their bases and try to destroy their opponent's jar of peanut butter or jar of jelly. The first player to lose their jar is the loser. You defend your base by building bread, cannons, and toast, and you attack your opponent by creating flies, fiery splares, and exploding garden gnomes. If you didn't get all that, that's okay, I'll explain more when the battle begins, but this first match is going to be a bit slow since both TanookiToad and JB are beginners, so it'll be a perfect time for me to explain more about the game. So they should be starting this game any second. They're picking King's Kitchen, which is the very basic stage to play on, and here we are, Team Peanut Butter versus Team Jelly, and we're off! So right off the bat, you can see that this game is played as a split screen view with Team Peanut Butter on the left and Team Jelly on the right. Now in the top menu of each screen shows the money and the units each player can build and the unit they're selected to build. The top left shows how much money each player has, and all the other items represent all of the units each player can build, and then the white numbers underneath represent how much money each item costs. And as you can see, each player is moving around, building different buildings in different locations. They build bread and toast as walls to defend their base, and they build cannons as utility to destroy their base. Now, I would like to talk about what is probably the most important important building in the game, and that is those green squares with the dollar signs on them. Those are called banks. Now, as you can see, normally you gain dollars every single frame and every second, constantly. So it's pretty easy to build money. However, you can build money faster than your opponent, depending how many banks you have. In other words, the more banks you have, the faster you build money. In the most accurate terms, for every bank you have, there's an extra dollar you gain every frame of the game. Now, what TanookiToad did there in the top left was very smart. He built toast around his banks, because toast is actually, well, not toast, banks are very weak. They can, like, one bullet can take out 3 banks. But the toast, on the other hand, are very bulky. Toast, the big brown pieces of bread, are very tough walls that have 50 health each. So it takes 50 bullets to take down a piece of toast. Those smaller white pieces of bread are, well, they're bread. And they have like some nice, creamy peanut butter on it, with nice, delicious jelly on the other ones. And the pieces of bread are cheaper. They cost 10 times less than the bread, but they also have 5 times less health. Now, 5 times less health might seem like, oh, well, the bread is more worth it, but that's actually not true, because the bread are actually very weak against those fiery guys there. So those fiery guys right there on the left are called splares. They're arguably the toughest unit in the game. They have 30 health each, and they're really slow, but they basically instantly destroy anything that comes in the path. The only things they don't instantly destroy are other splares and toast. Now, since toast is already hot and it was toasted and burnt, well, fiery obviously isn't very good against taking out the toast, right? Because they're already burnt. So if you see your opponent build lots of splares, the first thing you want to do is to build lots of toast and build cannons behind that toast to stop the splares from getting across. Now, TanookiToad, he's got a lot of toast around, which is good, because JB has lots and lots of splares, it seems. Now, JB's building more banks, which is good, but however, he's not really defending those banks too well. Well, almost any troop from TanookiToad could take him out. And so this game is a lot about building lots of banks, defending them, and then building lots of enemies to take out your opponent. And you have to understand what each troop does, or enemy. I called them enemies before. I meant to say troop. You have to understand what each one does in order to conquer your opponent. Now, those hives are called like factory units, and they're called factory units because they constantly produce troops like flies and splares every couple of seconds. Well, every like 10-15 seconds. Oh, and he just sent some garden gnomes and just took out that jar, and JB wins. Now, those garden gnomes are very dangerous. They are basically the kamikaze troops. They just run towards your opponent and take out and just blow up and destroy everything in its path. And here you can see the results of how much buildings each person built and how much money they spent, how much money they gained. And as you can see, JB had 15 more banks than TanookiToad, which, in my opinion, probably made him the winner. The more money you have, the more troops you can build, and the more troops you build, the easier it is to take out your opponent. Now here, so it's a best 2 out of 3. So JB won one game. Now he has to win one more game, then he'll beat TanookiToad, and TanookiToad has to beat JB 2 times in a row now. I know. Now, since TanookiToad was the loser, he gets to pick the next stage, and looks like he's eyeing on Victorious Void. It's my personal favorite stage. And in the void of space, war rages on. Defend all the bridges leading to the leading to the base from the enemy's army. Flying units will be able to fly past the gap. Sorry, it's kind of hard for me to read. I'm looking at it from a distance, but Now, if this is the stage they pick, well, I'll explain it more. And they picked it. So, Team Peanut Butter versus Team Jelly. I gotta say that with pizzazz, you know. Gotta keep this exciting. So this is the victorious void. So it's a little bit different than King's Kitchen. And if you look at the map, you can actually see. So the green represents the walkable land, while the dark blue-black area represents the void of space. Now the void of space is basically, they're just walls. So you can't fall off them, but you can't walk past them either. However, flies, which are flying units, can fly past the gap. So this stage is pretty interesting because there's this small, narrow in-between point that you have to get through to get to the other opponent's base, and then there are 3 bridges leading to the other person's jar of peanut butter or jar of jelly. So it's really interesting. What I like to do normally is build all these pieces of toast and bread and cannons in the middle, just to block that one point and cover all my bases, and that way it's less buildings to build to defend my base, and that way I can just build banks in the back. Now, let's see what everyone's doing. So, right off the bat, it seems TanookiToad on the left, Team Peanut Butter, has built lots of hives. It's good. Now, hives are good in this because they build lots of flies, and flies can fly past the gaps. Speaking of flies, flies are cheaper than the splares. They die very easily from the splares. They're very bad against them. However, splares in great numbers are very powerful because they shoot bullets a lot like the cannons, except they shoot them a lot faster. And so the more flies you have, they kind of stack up on top of each other, and they can do lots of damage. So flies aren't very strong by themselves, but in high numbers they can be really good. But the splares are very good against the flies. They're the natural counter. See, flies are attracted to the light, so when they see the splares, their eyes turn blue and they slowly fly towards them. Kind of like in that one scene in Bug's Life where they say, "Oh, don't fly to the lights!" And he says, "Oh, I can't, it's too beautiful!" Kind of like that. That's kind of where I got that idea from, I guess, but hopefully it's not copyrighted. I don't think it is, so if it is, I guess, well, there goes everything I've made, but I'm pretty sure it's fine. But anyway, so TanookiToad is building lots of flies. He's being very aggressive this game, and now that's the sound of the captain going down. And whenever the captain goes down, the other side gains $1,000. So you really want to avoid getting hit by your opponent, because all it does is give them more money. Now, JB and TanookiToad, well, JB especially here, hasn't really learned that you want to build your banks in the back, because banks are very squishy. They're not very good at defending, and they're valuable. So you basically never want to build banks out in the front. Which, oh, now that was a gas cannon, what JB just built to the right there. You can't see it now, but gas cannons are basically specialized cannons. They shoot almost twice as far as normal cannons, and their bullets release this gas, as you can see. The gas is very effective against splares, toast, and garden gnomes. As you saw in the previous games, garden gnomes are the kamikaze. The kamikazes of the game. They basically just run super fast to the opponent and just blow up when they see them. But the nice thing about the gas cannons is that when the gas makes contact with the gnome, it destroys the gnome without blowing them up. So if you're worried that your opponent's going to summon lots of garden gnomes, you want to build gas cannons. However, gas cannons are pretty expensive, costing 8,000 each, and the reason being is that once you get so many gas cannons out, it's a very scary force, and they're also very good against splares, since the gas can hit multiple splares at once. Now, those black, shiny things are called portals. They constantly create splares, and JB just created a bunch of portals right in front of the other person's splares, which really wasn't a good idea because he just had TanookiToad had splares there, and they just instantly destroyed his portals. Oh, look, if you look at the bottom left of the screen, don't know if you can see it, but there's a bunch of flies that just went through JB's base, and JB didn't even see it. That's because the flies can fly through the gap. And a lot of times, when you have like this bridge with a bunch of like troops there or buildings there, you think they're safe. But little do you know that the flies can just fly right through that gap. So that's something very good to keep in mind in this level. And oh, JB was in a bad situation there. Seems like TanookiToad is learning a lot more from this match compared to the last one. He's got a lot of the map, but it's probably pretty even right now. I haven't paid too much attention to building more banks, but okay, so that's good. JB's building flies in counter reaction. He's building some portals, but he's not defending those portals. He's spending lots of money building them, but he's not defending them. And so now he's learning. Like it's almost like he can hear me. Like he's like, I know, Kahmann Gaming. Like I know I need to build toast in front of my portals, and yeah, he'll have a kick out of this one after he listens to this. But he just walked into those. JB's a great player. He's a great guy. I love him. Anything I say here is nothing personal against any other player. This, but I love all of them. Anyway, TanookiToad, he just went down. He's going down a bit. It looks like, honestly, it looks like JB's doing a lot better now, but oh, he sent a guard gnome, but it's going the wrong way. I don't know where it's going. Oh, now it's going down. Oh, it just blew up, and okay. Oh, that garden. Those guard gnomes are very scary. You gotta be careful though. Those guard gnomes can you can hurt yourself, so you actually gotta be very careful. They're very. If you're not careful, you can blow up your own things. Now, JB just built like 10 flies, and they all died from those players instantly. So. Here's a note, fellas, or folks, I don't know what to call you yet, but if your opponent has a bunch of splares, you do not want to build a lot of flies. Typically what you want to do is you want to build lots of splares back. Now, you might be thinking at this point that the splare is a little overpowered, and you might be right. I'm constantly updating this game, and you know, in a month or two there might be a new patch for this game where there might be a counter for the splares, but yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about that though, because that's not going to be in this tournament. But the splares are right now the best troops in the game in this tournament, because they are just so tanky, and they can counter. They can just, they're slow, but they just do so much damage to everything else. However, they do have their weaknesses, like they're not good against the toast, and if a player properly uses gas cannons, it can counteract the splares. And flies aren't completely useless either, because they're good in this stage to cross the gaps. Also, flies can do more damage than the splares in greater numbers, because they have multiples of them. They all shoot bullets at once to do lots of damage. And now, see, now it looks like TanookiToad. Dang. Like, I wasn't even paying attention. He's got, like, look at the map. You see this big streak of this brown goodness. Peanut butter. So, guys, I have a question for you. You can leave in the comments down below, but do you guys prefer peanut butter or jelly? Or do you think they just have to go together? For me, personally, I probably like peanut butter better. I especially love peanut butter and chocolate together, guys. But I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. But TanookiToad is really doing good in this game. He's building gas cannons after gas cannon, which are great because they can reach so far, and they're very good against the toast. However, one thing to consider is that the pieces of bread, the small ones are cheap, actually take no damage from the gas cannon. So if you see your opponent building lots of gas cannons, what you want to do is you want to build bread. However, that might not help too much when they have splares coming, because the splares just go through bread like a hot butter through knife. Oh, a hot knife through butter, I meant to say. Yeah, this definitely won't be the first time I mix up my words, but yeah, honestly, I think TanookiToad has this game. He's got this in the bag. Oh, and he built those. See, those gnomes are very good late game. They just like when the other players just desperately trying to hold on, those gnomes are just gonna like destroy all their hope by blowing up their piece of toast. Dang it, TanookiToad is wrecking it. I think this is it, guys. Look at all those bullets and oh my gosh, like JB, I don't think he's gonna make it. Oh no, the jar hat does have health, so it won't instantly die. I think he has about 30 health. But oh, he's got so much there, and the splares, and JB's just trying to hold on. He's good. He's got some toast there, but I don't know. Like all TanookiToad has to do is build a gnome, and that looks like what he's doing. And he just built one, and now there's nothing there, and he's building another one. And he built another one. And he's doing another one, and that's it. TanookiToad wins the game. Dang. So that means there's only one more match left. See, that was a good match last time. Both players really improved from the first game, and I don't know who's going to win this, but Team Peanut Butter versus Team Jelly again. Okay, so we're back to the King's Kitchen. Okay, and now they're both they both got the strats down now. They're build banks first and build them inside of your circle. That's why I designed the bread and the toast to be arranged that way from the beginning. Now you can tell they both have improved significantly from their first game. They both have a better idea what they're going to do, and it looks like TanookiToad was almost going to build a bank out there, but he went back up. I actually personally would build more banks in the beginning than they are doing now, but hey, it's an improvement. And JB has those pieces of bread defending out in the front. He's got the cannons out, and the cannons are good because you want to be very careful, because you can actually rush your opponent at the very beginning of the game, just run up to them and just build a garden gnome in their face and just blow up everything. And to prevent that from happening, you want to watch the map, make sure the opponents don't sneak up on you, and you want to build lots of cannons around, and so like the bullets can shoot down the captain before they get down too far. But luckily, even though this game might be a little violent, it's not really that violent. It's just peanuts, guys, and grapes. I mean, sure they get a little messy, but guys, no pixels were harmed in the making of this game. I just want to let you know that. No pixels were harmed. No flies were harmed. It's all a show. It's all an act, guys. Like, no one's hurt. Anyway, so yeah, like, JB's building a wall. There's building banks behind. Okay, that's good. Bread's a good temporary wall, but you gotta be careful against those splares, because the splares just instantly destroy pieces of bread. You gotta be careful, but it's better than having nothing defending the banks. And oh, JB has a bank up in the front there. I don't know what's happening there, but hey, I guess, JB sure loves those flies, and oh, he's keeping a lot of pressure. He's got cannons going on each side, and oh, he's got the gnome. As you can see, the gnomes instantly destroy the toast, but they don't instantly destroy the bread. And I did that on purpose because I wanted the bread and toast to complement each other. So the bread are very weak against the mid-tier units, but they're very good against the late tier. So late tier would mean the gas cannons and gnomes. They're very expensive, so they're very bad against the piece of bread, but they're very good against the toast. But overall, the toast is more useful than the bread. But it's not perfect. It's not superior in every circumstance. So I did that on purpose. But yeah, the toast is very bad against the gnomes. The gnomes are very good at taking out toast. And JB, he's keeping the pressure on high. As you can see, he's limiting where TanookiToad can go. He can't go too far to the right, too far down. You get hit by the cannons, and it actually gives him less building room, and less building room means less banks. And And yeah, JB's taking advantage of this by building banks down in his own base so he has more money than TanookiToad. That's good. He's building splairs, but they're very bad against the Toast. And now I don't know what he's doing. I guess he's saving to build he's building a portal there, and it's died. He couldn't defend it in time, I guess. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But now he's building flies, like that's good. Alright, sorry, I was looking at TanookiToad. I wasn't even paying attention to JB. Sorry if I'm a terrible host, guys. I'm doing my best, but hey, hopefully you enjoy this all and get you interested in the game. I really just want everyone just to have fun while playing this, and I know everyone at the tournament back in Idaho had fun. It's really fun looking back at this. I hope all those people participating in the tournament at PBJenesis are watching and they're enjoying this match. Leave comments below of your thoughts in the game. And guys, just if you want to, you can hold your own tournaments with your family. You know, it's a great thing. And my nieces and nephews love playing this game. They're around like ages 5 to 12. It's fun. It's not too hard to play. It might seem a little overwhelming at first, but it's a pretty simple game to pick up and learn. Actually, this is an older version of the game. The version that's up to download now is more up to date and actually fixed a lot of the bugs. The gnomes are faster, the hides are smaller so you can build more of them, and yeah, there's a lot of other things, but yeah, those gnomes aren't good at taking out the pieces of bread, and TanookiToad is holding on. He's got some gas cannons too, but gas cannons are very weak. They only have 2 HP, while a normal cannon is 5, but so they're a little bit more squishy, so you gotta defend your gas cannons well. But yes, if the gas cannon shoots so far, it's shooting on the other side of his base. It's very good because those splairs are tough, and honestly, TanookiToad needs to get... Oh, what is happening? Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Dang. Sorry, I'm looking at 2 different screens at the same time. I'm probably talking about something. You guys are like, what are you talking about that? Look at those gnomes blowing up TanookiToad's base, and oh, those gnomes. They're very good offensively, but bad defensively, guys. Oh, and he's getting in. See, he could have got in there, built some splairs to take care of those banks, but oh, he's slowly doing more damage to TanookiToad's jar, and I don't know if, guys, I think JB's got this. Dang. JB's learned. TanookiToad, I think that last game, TanookiToad was wrecking it, but JB has learned from his ways. He's like, no more. I have learned. I have seen the light. And that light are those flaming splairs. They're just... Look at how many splairs there are, guys. There's like no way. And he's got no money. He's only got, what, 6 banks left. Hardly anything. He's just... Yeah, this is it, guys. TanookiToad's done for. It is just... Yeah, this... Basically GG. He's got it. It's lost. JB is the winner. He will progress to the next round, and TanookiToad will be sent to loser's bracket. Will TanookiToad make it back? Now remember, this is a double elimination tournament, so even if you lose a match, you can still make it back. But JB will be progressing on to the next round, and we will see who will be winning at that time. Now, if we take a look here, actually, I want to look up the bracket real quick of the tournament. I want to see who is up next. Sorry, I didn't have this prepared earlier, but you guys can look at these results real quick while I'm doing it. See who's winning. Okay. So, hold on 1 second. It's loading. I think we have Hyrulean 42, was it? Yeah, we have Zuffle and Hyrulean 42 next. I might have those names wrong, but I'll correct myself in the next video. But before we close off, let's look at these results. And yeah, the JB got 53 banks, and I just think that's because he was being so aggressive. I mean, yeah, look how many flies JB produced compared to TanookiToad. 195 flies compared to 84, and 55 splares compared to 24 splares. And yeah, and also, as you can see, that there was more captain deaths from TanookiToad's side. Yeah. So that was pretty good, guys. That was a lot of fun recording this. Can't wait to record the next one. Guys, yeah. Remember to like my page, Kahmann Gaming, Kahmann is how you spell my last name. And if you haven't already, download the Battle for Peanut Butter and Jelly. Play it with your friends. Take in all these strats and learn it. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And remember to like and subscribe, share with friends, and I hope all of you have a fantastic day. See you next time in the PBJenesis Battle for Peanut Butter and Jelly Tournament.